Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I just want us to look at clefs and staffs. And for beginners, we are going just to look at two clefs. And maybe to start with, we are going to ask ourselves, what is a clef? When we talk about a clef in music, what it means, it is a musical sign that fixes voices on the staff. Now, when we talk about voices, we have female voice, we have male voices. So for us to know who is who or which instrument can play this or that, we need to put a clef. So we have said a clef is a musical sign that fixes voices on the staff. And we are going, for beginners, I want us to look at two clefs. And we are going to start with G clef. We are going to start with G clef. And when we talk about G clef has another name called treble clef. And the word treble means female. So this is the clef that fixes female voices on the staff. Now, how does it look like? So, G clef, you start with a dot, you go up around, down, round, up, slant it, come in, out, and then there you are. So that is G clef. And what does it do? It fixes female voices on the staff. Now the next clef I just want us to look at is F clef. F clef also has a name, and this name is called bass clef, another name called bass clef. And how do you draw bass clef? You just begin with a dot, you go up round, and then you slant, and then it has two dots here. Now this one fixes male voices. Now when we talk about female voices, here we have two female voices, that is soprano being the highest female voice, and then we have alto, the lowest female voice. When you come here on male voices, we have two, that is tenor being the highest male voice, and then bass being the lowest male voice. So those are the two clefs that I want us to look at. Now we are going to look at the staffs, and we are going to get the staffs, the names of the staffs. We are going to derive them from the types of clefs. So don't forget this as we go to staffs. So we are going to begin with this staff. So first of all, we are going to fix a G clef. We go up, around. There you are. Remember, this was a G clef or a treble clef. So we are going to derive the names. Actually, there are four names we are going to derive from this one. So remember, in music, 5 lines, we call them a staff or a stave. Let me write it here, a staff or a stave. And this clef, we have seen it. It is called either treble or G clef. So the name is now going to change to a staff because it has been written on the staff. Now the first name, it will be the treble staff. So the first name is treble staff. Or treble staff, the third name will be G staff, or G stave. G stave. So we have our 4 names. The next staff we are going to look at, is F. F, you start drawing from the 4th line, like that, and then you put 2 dots. And this one will also have 4 names. Remember, we said it is called F clef. Let me start with bass, or F clef. But now the name is going to change to staff. So the first one is going to be bass staff, bass staff. The second one, bass stave. Bass stave. The third one will be F staff. And then lastly, F stave. F stave. Now, one thing you should know is that on treble staff or G staff, G is fixed on the 2nd line. Remember, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So G is on the 2nd line. When you come here, these 2 dots, in between these 2 dots here, they fix letter F. They fix letter F. So this is F. So this is line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 5. So F is fixed on the 4th line, while G is fixed on the 2nd line. Now, when you combine this staff and this one, we have what we call the great or grand staff. The great or grand staff. So, the great or grand staff so it is going to join, we draw a line up, another line there. So this is what we call and then this is F clef here. So here we have what we call middle C. Middle C. So from here, this one also have as 4 names. It can be called great or grand. Remember, this one we call it a staff or a stave. Stave. And we have great and grand. So we can have 4 names from here. So the first name will be the great staff. Staff. B will be great stave. C will be grand staff. Or D, grand stave. Now, up to here, we have looked at the types of clefs. We have looked at G clef, we have looked at F clef, and we have looked at the staff. We have seen on G staff and F staff, and then when you combine the two, you have your great staff. Now, boys and girls, one thing I don't want you to forget is the middle C. Middle C, when you have your middle C there, it is going to help us name the staff. It is going to help us name the staff. So if this is C, and when naming the staff, you name lines and spaces. Lines and spaces. So this is C. So here will be D. So this is D. Here it is going to be E. On the space is going to be F. On the line G. On the space A. On the line B. On the space C. On the line D. On the space E. And on the line from E, you go to F. So naming the staff, we use the musical alphabet, and as earlier I said, the musical alphabet is from A to G, and once you reach G, you go back to A. So if you have your G, that is how we name our G staff. So on the line, we have E, G, B, D, F, and F, A, C, E on the space. And usually this is what I do so that it helps me. I take my hand like this. So remember, a staff has 5 lines. A staff has 5 lines and 4 spaces. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And spaces 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one I usually say, every good boy drinks Fanta. Every good boy drinks Fanta. Like, every good boy drinks Fanta. And on the space, I have the word face. My face. Face. So that is face. That is on the G staff. Coming to F staff, we have, if this was C, we are going now backwards. Let me write here A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If, for example, you are here, on this space, it is going to be letter what? B. And on this line, it is going to be A. So on the space will be G. Next, it will be F. And remember, I told you earlier, in between these 2 dots, we have line what? F. So from F, we come to E. We are going backwards. From E, you come to D. From D, you come to C. From C, you go to B. And from B, you come to A. And from A, remember, this is what? From A, so you are coming back to what? G. So here is G. Now, on the F staff, this is what I usually use to help me remember the lines on the G staff. Now you are going to use, this is the lines on the F staff. So F staff, you are going to start by saying, good boy drinks Fanta always. Good boy drinks Fanta always. The same case here, good boy drinks Fanta always. Remember, on the G staff, we started with every good boy drinks Fanta. But here on the F staff, we are going to start good boy drinks Fanta always. And then here, on the spaces, that is on these 4 spaces, we'll have all cows eat grass. All cows eat grass. Very good. So, if you are now asked to name notes on the staff, then it becomes easier because you know how to name the F staff and how to name the G staff. So for example, I'm going to do a short exercise to help us know how to name the notes on the staff. For example, if I have notes here, then maybe you are asked, which note is this? Let me use semi-briefs. So we make it longer. You have some notes, maybe another note here. So what I usually do, you start maybe by saying this is G staff, so we start with every. So do you have any note on the first line? Yes. So this is every, and then every good. I'm starting with the lines first. Every good boy drinks. So this note here, it becomes what? A D. That one becomes a D. Every good boy drinks Fanta. We don't have any other note there. And with the spaces, we said we have the word face. Face. So I start with this one. I can see F. So I say this is F. And then I come to this one. This is A, because it is on the second line. And lastly, there is another note here on E, which is on the space. So this is E on the space and this is E on the line. So that is how we name maybe notes on the G staff. And I will give an example on how to name notes, for example, on F staff. So you ensure you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see these ones, they are supposed to be 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. And then on the 4th line, you start with a dot, you go round, then you slant a bit, and then you put 2 dots there. So here, remember we said on the lines we name using good boy drinks Fanta. You ensure that this, in between these 2 dots, you have your F. And then, so if for example you have notes here, there's one here, there's another one there, there's another one here, another one here, maybe another one there. So and then you are supposed to name the notes. What you need to do, remember, good boy drinks Fanta always. Good boy drinks Fanta always. And on the spaces we said all cows eat grass. So we are going to start with the note first on the line. So this one is J, because it is on the first line. On the second line we don't have. On the third line we don't have. On the 4th line we have, which is F. And on the 5th line we have this note here, which is what? A. So on the spaces we said all cows. So this is C, eat. Oh, then we are done. So that is easy. It is simple. You can rewind the video again and again so that you can understand. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.